Hey everybody, it's Frankie-Lou. I'm going to do a little bit of winter sowing here today in the geothermal greenhouse. I apologize if the fans are making too much noise, but that's what's keeping it wonderful in here. It's minus 20 outside, it's 17 degrees in here, so I'm going to leave those fans on because I don't want to freeze my butt off. So, while I'm working here on planting up some more of my milk jugs, the question that I'm going to deal with today is, can I really save money by growing my own food and using these little milk jugs? And my answer is yes, 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 yes. So there's so many ways that you could choose to spend a lot of money on growing your own food. And don't get me wrong, I totally understand it. Traditional growing inside under lights to get seedlings is costly, and it can be such a pain in the butt to keep those seedlings alive, both by frequent watering and by finding enough space, making sure you get the lights at the right level, turning a fan on so that those seedlings are strong. It can be overwhelming for somebody starting. So if you're a newbie to gardening, welcome, it's wonderful. But also consider doing some milk jug planting to start because it's so much easier. I do it for many reasons. I have 2 homesteads and I'm constantly expanding my gardens, and I'm constantly using my gardens in produce that I am actually producing food for other people with too. So I need to be making a lot of food, and I need to be producing a lot of seedlings all the time. If I was doing that the traditional way with lights inside, I don't have enough room and I would not be able to do anything else ever. That's all I would have time to do. So with this, yes, it does take a little bit of work at the start, but the amount of time it's going to save me in the long run makes it well worthwhile. One of the things that I found disturbing because I live somewhere where hardening off wasn't a necessity. I grew up on the West Coast, and you could just take a seed, pop it in the ground, it's going to grow no matter what. Then I moved to zone 3. Things are different here. That whole hardening off process where you have to slowly acclimatize your seedlings to the temperatures outside before you transplant is essential when you live in zone 3 normally. And it's annoying as heck. You've got to dedicate a lot of time and energy to doing it. It takes a week or 2 to get your plants ready, and daily moving them in and out and slowly making it last longer. Not if you have these. When it's almost time to put these in the ground, I'm going to open this jug and I'm going to let it sit in a kind of a sheltered spot for a few days, and then I'm going to put it in the ground. Having your seeds sprout and grow in these jugs saves that whole hardening off process. So even if it didn't save me money, the amount of time it saves me, I would be doing this. Okay, because I don't have time for all this stuff. Then, in terms of cost, think about it. You're just reusing something that you've already got in your house, and you recycle it after you've used it this way. I usually use my milk jugs once for 1 season, so that's costing you nothing. Yes, you do have to buy soil, but you'd have to do that anyways. And I've done a few different tests to see, and I find that buying 1 big bale of my Pro Mix Organic Herb and Veggie blend, I usually spend between $30 to $35 on that, depending on where I'm buying it. And I'm gonna get at least 50 jugs out of that. So that's less than $1 for soil. And then duct tape. Duct tape, not cheap. And I do make sure that I get good duct tape, which can cost a little bit more. Between the soil and the duct tape, I'm spending less than $1. So my biggest cost tends to be my seeds, because seeds aren't cheap. This is $3.99, but there are approximately 240 seeds in here. So if you do the math, compared to going and buying that many seedlings, it's not hard to see that spending a little bit of money on soil and duct tape is going to save you a heck of a lot more money than going out and buying trays of seedlings. Now, the other way that you can save money is start seed saving. I would say I use about half my own seed now. Makes a huge difference. Seed saving is super rewarding on so many levels, but that's for another whole other video. So, ways that milk jug planting saves you money, and I would recommend to a beginner. It's less fussy. It's a little work at the start, but really it's not that hard to do this. I started doing it with my son over 5 years ago, and he was just a little kid, and we had the best time doing this, and it's become kind of our thing. Even though he's 16, he'll still do this with me. So, it's easy to do. It's fun. It's less costly because you're not spending money on a whole bunch of fancy equipment, including those lights and shelving. And then the other way that you're saving some money is you're not using any electricity, right? You're not having these lights running for X number of hours a day. You're not having any fans running. You're letting Mother Nature do the work. These are going to go outside in a snowbank. They're not going to germinate for quite a while. They're going to cold stratify. The seeds, that's another thing. I found I got way better success because of the cold stratification of my seeds, especially the hardy perennials and native plants. They want it to be cold for a little while. And I got much more success when I started using this for my germination rates. Got your seeds out in the snowbank, exposed to sunlight. You can't fake better sunlight with grow lights than the sun. Right? So this is using the sun. A lot of people get the misconception that they're going to start seeing seedlings come up right away. No, you're not. That's one of the reasons why we wait in the Chinook zone when I'm in Alberta. I don't start planting until closer to the end of February because Chinooks can cause things to germinate too soon. Oh. I don't want these to germinate for quite a while until spring has really started to come on. But what I find is the seedlings that I get out of here, because they're acclimatized to those harsh conditions, because they were raised in the harsh conditions of zone 3 on both of the homesteads, they're hardier, they're better, and they take off much faster when I put them in the soil. They're not like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? They're like, okay, I'm home, I can spread out, I can grow. They love it. So that's another reason I got much nicer seedlings out of here than anything I pampered inside in my garden. Tough love, I guess you could say. Mother Nature believes in tough love, and so do I, and so do my seedlings. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that might encourage you. If you are a beginner or you're looking for ways to save money in your garden, please give milk jug planting a try. Please ask me tons of questions. That's what I'm here for. I love it. I love talking about this stuff, and I love seeing people have success with it. It makes me so happy. If you want to have your questions answered in real time, please do keep an eye out for my live announcements. And as always, I hope you'll take this chance to grow together today. Have a good one.